Hello, Amanda New Earth here. It's the 5th of July 2021. Can you believe that? Wow. Anyway, I've shuffled what is going on in Australia. What is going on in Australia? Let's hope that the cards can give us a little bit of information. What is going on in Australia? Okay. Okay, a little bit to go. We've got a very new crowning of thought, a whole new thing coming through, something fresh and new, fresh new ideas. Around it, the death card, which means rebirthing. And there's just a little bit to go. It's almost there. It's almost there. So patience is a virtue. A little bit there. This is like a completion card in a sense. Okay, just, well, we've got the tower. The tower really does mean that those structures are falling. All the structures are falling. What else have we got? We've got the total worry. People are running worried. Okay. So if you are feeling worried about whatever's going down, there is the opportunity to grasp some happiness. You might have to dig pretty deep for that. And but the structures on the earth, it's quite a worrisome sort of energy whilst this is going down, but there is something new and fresh. It is an end. There's just a little bit of the process to go, not much longer. Okay, some more energy, the virtue of knowing what energy. So this is full on energy at the moment. So it's like there's a massive amount of energy available to Australia. There's a massive force being used at the moment. There's so much energy, but it's virtuous. It's virtuous. So keep our focus on that one. It's virtuous, taking us in a very different direction. A lot of fiery energy. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Wow, this is amazing. Huh. Okay, so the energy around the devil at the moment. Okay, energy around the devil. This also symbolizes to me, instead of it being the demonics, it's actually that captured mind that has happened, like MK Ultra type stuff. Okay, there's a whole different new direction going on when it comes to the earthly things and new rhythms. And of course, this is the moon, so it's the emotional side of life. The emotional side of life. So this is all going on in Australia. I'm not getting super too much. Okay. High frequency. All right. So we've got really high spiritual energy, really balanced thinking, very balanced thinking, really coming up with very cosmic kind of energy. So what it's saying to me, and I'm just going to reverse out and I'm just going to tune in because I think it's an interesting energy that's going on. Although we feel although it feels as though at the moment there's a lot of fear around, there's a lot of uncertainty around, there are great big endings happening. You have to get really, there's stuff going on. To me, it looks like there is the takedown of things. There's a great big force that is, in fact, doing a lot of work at the moment. It is a new energy that's coming in. It's just at its end. It's just at the end. Just at the end. Okay, something new is coming. Something new is coming. Hold on. So there's big spiritual energy, but it feels like it's off planet a little bit. So there's some great big design going on that's working, and it's on a spiritual level. And of course, here is that entrapment of an old way of thinking that was being broadcast out. Well, it's getting a different rhythm and a different direction. Okay, so that's Australia at the moment. And I'll be back in a moment for Australians. Now, it's not giving me a lot of information. I'll just say it's not giving me a massive amount of information. I don't think I'm allowed to say very much more than that at the moment. So I'm just going to move on to Australians. All right, here we go. Here's for Australians. Okay. Here's that swiftness. Here's that swiftness again that we had, 2 weeks ago, I think it is. Just focus on that swiftness. Okay. All right. There is a lot of energy. There is a lot of energy. It's very swift energy. It's fast. It's really, really fast. There's a lot going on, okay, for us all. And we've got to kind of get into a sort of balanced mental state to balance out all of our disappointments and all of our upset and all of the sort of things that have turned dry. Now that really sort of says to me, like, all the people that we've lost, all of the businesses that have gone down, all of the horrible, horrible stuff. It's swift. There's some swift action going on. They're going really, really fast at the moment. Really fast. Okay. Time to drink from the tranquil waters, the deep tranquil waters, to rise to rise. Okay, so we've kind of got to get a balance between our emotions and our energy at the moment. We've got to come from a more tranquil place. There's a tranquility that we need to drink from, but it's a direction. There's new things are happening. There's I think it's about time to rise. I think it's about time to rise. Yeah. So there is a change going on for all of us, for our inner magic, and that direction that was going to be happening, which was their plan. It was their plan. And it's got to do with the change of the magic powers. So it's about us taking us back. It's about us taking back our era. Okay, the change is right there. Changing the era and using our own inner magic, which we all have as a birthright. It's the superpowers that were talked about with what Jesus Christ had. Yep, definitely. So, on a really grounded level, it's like, yes, on a grounded level, choosing which direction we've got to go. We've all got to do it in our hearts. As the completion and the success starts coming through, it will turn things. Again, there's the Ace of Swords, new vibes. Absolutely new vibes. Okay. Now, last week there was this how can I put it? Almost like they were going to take down the Matrix. That's kind of part of the control mechanisms that the demons had for entrapping people's thinking. But it's like there is a new radiating energy instead. We've just got to get through it. We've just got to really try to find it. And if we scratch past our fears at the moment, we're going to find it. Okay? The last week, a lot of fear has come up in people, loads of fear. And then this week, it feels like uncertainty is about to come up. And as a dear friend of mine, as we were talking about just before I was doing this reading, the next one is going to be grief. So just prepare yourself for these things. It feels like it is the takedown of the Matrix. And it's about, I think it feels like it's only about another week, okay, of this fear, uncertainty. So if you're feeling fear, what I would suggest is that the fears that you're feeling, you might notice they're a little bit different. They might actually be your fears instead of the fears that they have broadcast out for many years. Not their program, but the actual fears. So just work through them, know your faith, and get your new vibe going, your new thinking vibe going. Okay, so last week was all about new rhythm, etc. But this is a little bit different. This is very powerful energy available, very powerful. So a self-contained luxury, self-contained where everything's flowing to and from each other. And if you think about consciousness and you think about the isolation that everybody has been in and about how it has sprung open people in a way that they didn't even know possible, like being awake, or whether it's like being upset about a certain issue or whatever. So that is just like a spring lever. And the spring lever is all about the consciousness, getting towards the quantum consciousness of individuation and unity. And that's really feeling like we need to sort of reach to those people that we know we can trust in the unified field, reaching out in your consciousness as well. So we've got just absolutely amazing that we've got another ace here. We've got two aces next to each other. Big stuff is going on. Big stuff is going on. And so all the powers that seem to be around, it's a bit like you have to not buy into the fear, but buy into your self-empowerment and how you want the world to be. I said something like that last week, but it seems to still be the theme, because the direction, we need to know what direction we want things to go in. We need to really dig deep and know that we don't want to be under tyranny. We don't want it. We want something else. So I'm going to move on to New Zealand, loves. Okay, back in a moment. Alrighty, New Zealanders, let's have a little peek at what's going on New Zealand. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. It's a little bit like looking out after all this hard work over all of the things that have been done. There is great gain. I'm going to have to put some other cards out because I'm picking up something else. Yeah. All right. This is a huge feminine energy here. And this huge feminine energy is like looking out over all the fields, after all the planting, etc., etc. And it's like looking at the plan. I'm sure you can all relate to that figure, thinking that they've gained a lot of earthly and a lot of lust. See, that's not the human one. This one's reading that power that you know who that female would be, being New Zealand. Okay, and all of the lust they've gone off, and all the gain, and all the interference that it's actually caused, and all of the futility that it's created, and all of the seeking that people would love for a new thing. Well, they're actually trying to create it, aren't they? They're pushing something at the moment, pushing for something. Okay, there's this bit of a still water that's actually creating some disappointment over there with their plan. With their plan, there's something a little bit more peace that seems to be coming into creating disappointment upon this. This has got a really yucky energy. This really yucky. Female abusive life force energy for the gain of the earthly material things, money, property, power, whatever. There's a tranquility energy that is changing it, that's doing something to that plan, that's creating a bit of disappointment. All right. Then they're having to look at some totally different opportunities, some totally different things here to try to do their achievement. But they're being met with, so both of these cards, this is the stage, almost just after, but this is all slime, this is debauchery, this is all of that really dark, yucky activities. And this is where it just is dry, there's nothing flowing. Okay, so that actually is sort of looking like they haven't really got much alternative except to use those things. They've run out. There's nothing fresh to do. Nothing. Except maybe they've got a little bit of wealth. Are they being taken to the moon? I don't know. But the earthly things are being, there's stuff coming in that's actually that whole new rhythm. It's the moon, it's that emotional energy, and it's reaching for things in the stars. I think there's going to be a message in for the New Zealanders in this one. I think they're having a hard time. They're having a really hard time, which is really great to hear, isn't it? Really great to hear. they're I just get this thing that they're stepping one step closer to the noose, hanging themselves. Okay, I'll move on to New Zealanders. Okay, here's 4 New Zealanders. Okay. This is just incredible. Okay, as a New Zealander, you have to hold and radiate that everything that's going on there going to have personal great success. You actually personally are going to have incredible success, okay, and great fortune. So this is like that. This card is quite good because it's either coming out and shining, showing your inner beauty, okay, but there's a shyness, okay, there's something shy going on. Hold it, just keep holding that energy. Let's see what else. Okay, yes, all right. So when it comes to this one, it's still going through that process of getting the light and the dark. We're always going to have light and dark, day and night, all of these sorts of things. But our hearts are the ones that actually design or desire which way it goes, whether we have access dark or access light. So this is a time where you need to have a direction where you actually get your inner light and dark in a balance. Yeah. So again, if you're feeling the fear, well, fear is sort of like a lesson, and just feel through it and get it really organized. Okay, if I'm feeling the fear, well, then I need to transmute it. I just need to transmute that. But there's something really an opportunity. It feels like a precipice of something. Okay, so you've got the mental battle. Feels like you're going to fail. Perhaps it feels like there's somebody in the throne that is winning, and that is actually stopping you from feeling that great success and the fortune of what's really going on. And then also, this one's also telling me about time to step up and rise. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Okay, virtue again. All right. So we've got military, virtuous military, and going into battle. Okay, so it's there. So know that something is going on over there for you, behind it all. Just know. I think that's what it was that they wanted you to know from the previous reading. That there. Okay. Well, all I can say is that there's just an incredible battle going on. It's got to do with the mental side of things, thoughts and words. There's a mental battle going on, a word battle going on, but there's a lot of valor going on. There's a lot of honor going on, and there's also the defeat card. And that card to me, it is the defeating of the demonics. It is the defeating. If you can just hold a really fantastic energy, being the success, just hold your powder there for a little bit. Great fortune, and it's just going through a personal little moment at the moment, finding the direction you want it to go in. This one has, although you might feel that mentally you sort of failed, it's defeated, it's all not happening because that person in power, but then there is some help there. There's something very good, virtuous going on, and also there's valor, and it's all going to be defeated. I love you. Okay, I'm going to do another reading. It is related to Australia, and I'll talk to you in a moment. Okay, so I'm actually going to read the cards without telling you what it's about. Okay. Okay. my question was, are the tribunals happening in Darwin? This is justice. This is law. This is the rebalancing, totally rebalancing. This Fool here is all about new. It's really doing the new energy because it's actually zero, and so it's before things. So something's coming to a neutral point. I know people would think it's all about foolishness, but it actually has that, and that's what it's saying to me. They're bringing in every single facet, absolutely everything that they've done on every level, okay? On every single level. So whether it's from fraud to misrepresentation or to using magic. Okay. We have somebody very, very powerful sitting in the power throne. Okay, very, very powerful. Know exactly sitting crowned power. And it's got the pineal gland in there, so it is, ignore all the other ones, but it does symbolize goodness. So that's really amazing. This is pretty incredible. So when it comes to these other energies, it's got to do with maybe they're not going so well on some or whatever, but the people are having a bit of a hard time, aren't they? Coming up against this energy. They're actually failing, as in they're not the tribunals, but the people going up against them. There's a lot of strength behind this. There's a lot of strength, a lot of balanced energy has gone into creating this. So this is that hidden power and the things that are hidden, but it's all coming to a completion. It's coming to a completion. Oh, so I got this one over here. Coming to a completion. Not quite there yet, though. So there was a whole lot of misdirected energy that brought a lot of strife. It's creating a little bit of strife, and there's a lot of sorrow. But on the flip side of it, there's a lot of happiness. Okay, on the flip side. So the strife that we've just got a little bit to go. I would say it's either 5 days or 5 weeks, but I think it's 5 days. That would match with something else, yeah. So with as an ending result, we've got a massive yes there. It's all to do with a fresh new start for the earth. It is all about the like we've all been locked away, yeah. Yep, that's what that symbolizes. But we're about to get to a whole lot of sun shining, really good things happening. Okay, we're nearly there, not too far. It's just going to be a whole lot of working through. But getting that card first up is a massive yes. Massive yes. Now, I've just got one more reading that I might do. Alrighty, this is another question. I'm going to do the spread before I tell you what it's about. Alrighty, what have we got? All right. Now, I asked about the Pine Gap Mount Zeal complex because I've had intel that there's big things going on out there. Okay. So A lot of light and dark being dealt with at the moment. There's a massive rise to the occasion. There's a massive amount of energy that is in fact abundantly going on out there. There's something really big going on out there for certain. For certain. Okay, so all of the oppression of being able to, of being, I wonder if it was a broadcasting place for like mental to skull, because it's that mental kind of battle that we've all had with all being programmed, so and creating oppression. So there's oppression and that mental battle, and a lot of hard work. Okay, and figuring it out. And there's a great deal of fortune going on and great big new things happening, and there's a lot of justice going on as well. A lot of justice going on. Okay, and all of the magic is being used to rise above it all in the correct direction. And there's a drinking from the tranquility as well, which means actually I'm getting some really different sort of energies. The swiftness to, like, this is Demeter, Mother Earth in a sense, the things that are down in the ground, down in the ground, and all of that sort of magic and everything. There's a swift action against it, very swift action. There's a lot of the content, the meddling, the magic that they know about, but it seems to be being used upon them, yes. And with this central, this is really interesting. I think that there's a little bit of that. You don't know what's light and you don't quite know what's dark, but they do. They know exactly. Whoever's out there doing this, they know exactly. And they're rising to the task, and it's all about bringing in abundance. That oppression, looking over the mental anguish and the physical, it's like somebody looking over the country. I mean, that was meant to be all of us, but there's only been a select few. So I'm wondering if that's where it broadcast from, that sort of energy. The fortune, absolute fortune. Fabulous things are happening. Absolutely fabulous. Fresh, new. It's the energy that comes, that is about before you can have a thought as well. That one there just says great big things are coming. Great big things. All right, I'll see if there's another one. I don't know, this one's just, I think there's energies that we don't know about. I think that's what it is. Like we might have a thought, or our consciousness might think that we know what they are, but because we don't, we're limited. We're limited in how we know how things work. And that was kind of telling me that there are forces that aren't necessarily things that we know about. All right. So I'm going to do New South Wales. Okay, New South Wales. Give us some info. Yeah, it's in lockdown. It's in lockdown. Strife is afoot on the magic level. Because what happens when we're locked down is that we find our own magic outside of what we're told we're allowed to do, which is going to create a lot of strife for them. Lovely. Okay, things underground, also opportunities. We've got a lot of help from the universe, all to do about us gaining. Okay, we've got some high magic, really good, solid stuff, new things, and this higher frequency that's about to come is going to create a new dominion over us, as in our own. Yes, definitely. Here it is again. So I asked, if this one card came up, I was going to say this. So I left the code on the end of last week's. The code, what if you got a positive CV test result, etc. This was going around for the US last year because I really feel as though it's happening here at the moment. It tells me that yes, justice is being served upon them while the parliament was shut down. And again, we're being confirmed again that they've moved upon them. They have moved upon them. Yep. They have. They have moved upon them. Little things that have been hidden, little powers that have been hidden are being brought out, and there is a great big balance coming back in, a really serious balance of power. Yep. So there's an even larger power than those forces that were used against us to take us in a new direction. There is something even larger than that is redirecting the energies. Absolutely. I hope you're all going well. I'm going to leave the cards at that. And I was given such good feedback last week, from what I did at the end. So I'm going to take you through another one. So if we just take that relaxed space by taking a nice big deep breath in. With that deep breath in, we're actually pulling in the light forces of Creator, of Source. We are sovereign. There are no middlemen. We connect directly with Creator, with Source energy. And that Source energy is now filling us up. And as it fills us up, it washes away all fears, doubts, uncertainties, and grief. And we breathe in the natural peace and calm that comes with taking in the Creator, the peace and the calm. In the religions, they call it taking Jesus into your heart. I call it taking the Christ-sake into our hearts. And we let it spread all the way through our physical bodies, through our emotions, through our mental state. And we allow calm to come down. Calm of peace. And now with the exchange that's going on, all of that fear and uncertainty can now leave, be dissolved. And as it's being replaced with this peace, you can now tap into your own power, your own inner power, because you are sovereign. And that just spreads through absolutely every cell, muscle, tissue and organ in your body. It starts surrounding your body. And you're now in a bubble of it. And you feel so safe and so secure. You're now feeling layers of safety and trust. And in that trust, you'll know what you're meant to be doing right now. But with that great big force of beautiful, clear energy of love and truth and honor, we're now just going to let it ripple out through our own homes, where we are right now, and send it through the neighborhood to help. And if the Creator and if Source could just recognize those that need help, that it washes through them, and it starts spreading through all suburbs, all towns and cities, all over Australia and New Zealand. And it's just becoming such a vibrant light that the imbalances that we call the darkness, that we say to our Creator, we do not consent to it anymore. I do not consent to them having this control over my life. I consent to being sovereign, to living free, in harmony and abundance. And as that energy just builds over Australia and New Zealand, all the excess goodness is going to those that are serving justice, those wonderful men and women who are standing tall and strong in this war. And we're sending an extra dose to those that are really standing for the absolute truth under God, under Creator, and under Source, to bring the balance back into our lives once and for all. And we send that through absolutely everywhere we can feel into. And you just keep it going. Just keep washing it all away and just sending love out, a big wave of love that's now spreading out over the entire earth. And we start connecting with all of those other beautiful conscious souls in conscious unity, sending them all love until that love starts getting sent to you through Creator and through all of this wonderful unity consciousness. And you can feel and see it creeping into all of those dark places to bring balance and harmony again and justice. And I'm going to leave you with that beautiful space. And I love you all. And brothers and sisters, we're in this together. Let's start creating unity. I love you. Talk to you next week.